All right, guys, thank you for joining me. I'm excited to show you my assembled Kentucky rifle. Worth pointing out is it's not quite done. I need to put the sights in still, but I need to sand them down or grind them down in some way because they came a little bit too big for the dovetails, and I've not gotten around to doing that yet. But I'm excited about the fact that otherwise it's all together, so I want to show it off. So here it is. I had to stand back really far to fit the whole thing in the frame because it's pretty long. Here's a closer up. So there's the furniture on. You see the shininess from the wood stain and the clear coat. Got the the lock at half cock right now for safety. Though, I mean, yes, it's a gun, so you should still practice safe gun practices, but I don't have any bullets made yet, and there's no powder in it, and never has been, so there's not really any danger here. Also, no flint in the hammer, so not really any danger here, but you know, safety. And then there's the connection between the two parts of the stock. Here you can see the holes where the tenon pins go in. There's one, and then there's the other one. You can see I kind of made a bit of a mess on that one. That was probably the hardest part of putting the rifle together once all the woodwork was done and everything, was first getting this tang screw here to connect to where it connects down here in the trigger assembly, which you can't really see with the trigger guard in the way. You can kind of see it down there. That was kind of a pain in the hinder because the tang screw kept on going in an angle and didn't want to engage with the threads in the trigger assembly. And then the other thing was the barrel track, or the barrel channel in the front portion of the stock, got really tight in time since I did the dry fit, and so I really had to cram the barrel in there, and I'm not sure why it got so tight, because I didn't really put any clear coat or anything on the inside, so I had to cram it in, and it took several tries to get those barrel tenons to line up with the holes I had drilled, and in the end I had to just kind of re-drill the holes to get them to line up enough that I could get those tenon pins in. And then the other thing that's kind of annoying is, you guys might remember in my last dry fit video how I had to file down. I had to file down a lot here up at the nose cap area to make the nose cap line up with the holes in the barrel. And now you can see there's a gap there. And so I'm not sure what was going on there. And I'm a little bit frustrated with that. But overall, I think it turned out pretty nice. A couple of things I'm not a huge fan of. The trigger is a little bit rattly. Don't love that. You don't want your trigger to do that really. So I'm not a fan of that. And I think that's more of like a manufacturer's thing, not a me thing. And then also I lost one of the screws for the furniture down here, and I mean, it'll hold on just fine, but it looks a little goofy. One other thing about the assembly, so I got the ramrod thimbles on. And the ramrod, last I checked, it's hard to do one-handed. The ramrod does come in and out okay. It struggles a little bit. There we go. So the ramrod does come in and out okay. But this last thimble was really tight in the hole, and I had to carefully tap it in with a hammer, and I didn't want to hit it too hard. I didn't want to do anything too crazy because I didn't want to damage it. And then when I got it in, the screw hole didn't line up with the hole that's pre-drilled inside the barrel channel of the stock, and so I ended up not getting to screw that one in. But it works it's not going anywhere. It's in there pretty tight, so I'm not too worried about that. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with it. We'll do another pan across. I guess I don't need the sound effects, do I? And there she is. Here you can see the spots where the sights go. That's where the rear sight goes. That's where the front sight goes. And I look forward to getting those in and having it fully finished. We'll put the flint in the hammer and take a look at how she looks, all told. Not in this video, but in the future. So one other thing that's kind of cool that I've been telling anybody who will stand still long enough for me to tell them is I was surprised when I first got this how small the pan is that the powder charge goes into that the flint ignites. I always thought this would be a lot bigger in my head when I read books about flintlocks or when I thought about flintlocks. And the other thing I was surprised by is that when you close the frizzen, it like fully encloses the pan, and the pan's like tight and the powder's not going to fall out of that. When I read books or like thought about flintlocks, I thought that if the person carrying it tipped it this way, then the powder would all fall out of the pan, so you couldn't prime your pan until the last second. Turns out, smarter design than that. Smarter design than I thought. So that's a neat thing that I've learned as I've been working on this. All right, so that's my Traditions Kentucky rifle, and I will do a couple more videos. I still need to make bullets. I'm going to record that, and patches. I need to make patches. Then, of course, when I go and shoot it for the first time, and possibly ensuing times, I'm also going to record that. So look forward to those ones. And that is all for today. I'll see you guys later.